Welcome back, YouTube, for part 2 of our look at Horde's IO. Now, this is a free-to-play browser-based game if you haven't watched part 1, and I encourage you to go ahead and check out part 1 because we look at the first two classes of Warrior and Archer and look at their abilities. But today we're going to finish up our look at this free game by looking at the Mage and the Shaman. Now, Mage was my first one that I picked to play because I always liked the range casting type approach when I played World of Warcraft. And I found Mage to be very fun, but ultimately Shaman became my preferred class to use. But let's go ahead and take a look at the Mage and see what the Mage can do in this game. Okay, so here we are in the game. And once again, if you didn't watch part 1, I encourage you to go watch part 1. But basically, we're just, I'm going to collect some items that people have abandoned so I can get me some gold and start being able to buy upgrades for my abilities. But right now, I do have two abilities. First one is Ice Bolt. Basically what it sounds like. I'm sending a little thing of a bolt of ice at them. And then the second ability, which I'm using right now, is called Frost Call. And as you can see, it is an AoE. Basically says you call down a blizzard over your enemies, dealing damage over time. And it's a channeled ability, so it takes a moment for it to cast. So it's definitely something that you want to get a bit of distance before you use. And then Ice Bolt, like I said, is just generic bolt of ice, not exactly something you're necessarily going to sit there and use as a method of really killing a big group of enemies, unless you just like killing one at a time. You can go ahead and, consider Ice Bolt, at least the way I do it, is use it as the one to draw the attention and get the enemies to come in, kind of like I'm doing now. And then once they're all clustered together, you cast Frost Call and clear the whole group of them out. You can see right now I'm sitting there taking out the whole area, except for this little mother slime. They're a little tougher. All right, so I cleared the whole area, and I'm just grabbing whatever goods I can right now. I'm not really worried about equipping anything at the moment. I just want to get me some gold going so I can get me some upgrades because I got to show you these other abilities. Okay, so I just sold a bunch of stuff, and I've got a good bit of gold already. Managed to actually grab some higher level items, which helped out a lot. So let's look at the third ability, which is Teleport. Teleports you, obviously. That's pretty much, a given. And basically, you just pick a spot in the distance and click Teleport. And this is one reason why I liked the Mage to start with, is it makes it easy to get further out. And let's say you see like somebody there, being attacked by a big group, you want to jump in the middle and help. You can do that. It also lets you get further away from the enemies when you're being attacked by a group. You can't kill them. Similar to the way the Archer has a sprint ability to let him run faster so he can get away. This just lets you click in a distance and be like, oh, hey, I just want to go there. So also useful for getting not just, away from attackers, but be able to use it to also just jump way far out into the middle of stronger enemies and pick up better gold and items. And then your fourth ability is one of the best ones that I've seen as far as the protective, recovery abilities in the game. It's Ice Block. And basically it freezes you in a block of ice, which makes you invincible while it's active, but you also recover health while it's active too. So it makes it so basically you're unable to be hurt as long as you don't move. It is a channel ability, so as long as you don't move, it sits there and keeps dealing damage. Now, if you sit there and cast it and move, then I think you lose the invulnerability, but you get to keep the healing briefly, and it is, a heal over time type ability. But that is one of the better recovery abilities that I have seen in the game, and I'm gonna get some more stuff sold so I can upgrade a few things. I got me a broken twig. All right, got a broken twig I can use. All right, so now I'm going to focus mainly on two abilities with the mage. I'm going to focus on Ice Block and Frost Call because each of these works really well with the other one, and I'll show you why. Let's go over here. Call down Frost Call, get some DOT, and get some good experience. So you can see I'm already level 4 on my my mage. All right, perfect opportunity. So you see I'm sitting here dealing damage to him. I can sit here now, recover my healing. And it also lets me recover some of my mana. And then I just recast Frost Call again over the area, killing them. And then, any I don't kill, I just sit there and do it again. And when my health gets low, I use Ice Block and I recover my health. And I can just sit there in a group of enemies, killing over and over and over, and always recovering my health. And the thing is, I can even channel Frost Call and then cast, after a certain point, Ice Block. And jump right in. You see my health's just jumping right back up like it was nothing. So I just sat there and got a ton of experience points. And now I've got the guys coming after me again. I'm just going to sit here and do this. Let them take their damage. And bam. Ice Block. Now I'm healing again. And you see, I move and Frost Call stops working. No more damage being dealt to them. So that means, obviously now we already saw when I use Ice Block, if I move, I'm still recovering health. But I'm not recovering, I'm not invulnerability. I don't have the invulnerability. I'm not invincible anymore, is be my assumption at that point. I think he's done messed up. I'll help him out. I'll slow him down. That's another thing Frost Call will do. It will slow down enemies in the area of effect. So even if you can't do a lot of damage, you can use it as a way to help out other people and do damage to some of the enemies attacking them. Like in this case, I'm getting to deal damage to a level 28 enemy and help this guy out, which is going to give me tons of experience on that. And also managed to get me some better items too. Again, this is pretty much the way the mage plays. You can use Ice Bolt. You can sit there and, run around and be more actively firing Ice Bolts and teleporting around, trying to be, some kind of ninja mage where you just, oh, I shot you. Oh, look, I'm over here. Shoot you again. Oh, look, I'm over here. Shoot you again. You can bounce around, do stuff like that. But the most effective use I've seen is what I'm doing right here. Frost Call until your health gets low, and then Ice Block to recover your health, and just keep going until you can, keep upgrading. You just upgrade and upgrade and upgrade and keep going until you can't go any further, or you decide you want to try something else. And speaking of trying something else, now I want to switch to my favorite, the one that trumped the mage as far as playability for me, the one that made me enjoy it the most once I found out how he played, the Shaman. So let's get out of this and play a bit on the Shaman and take a look at what he can do. All right, so now we're set up as a Shaman. And when I first saw, Shaman, healer, my thought was, kind of like a priest, type class, more for healing and support, not so much a damage guy, but he actually does really well for damage. First ability and third abilities are unlocked automatically. The first one is Healing Ritual, which, like it says, heals a target, but it heals your target on casting, and then for a short time afterwards. So you get an instant heal plus some healing over time. And that's, your standard healing ability. And your third ability, Decay, casts a spell of decay upon an enemy that slows them down and deals damage over time. So you've got a healing support ability, and then you've got a direct damage DOT ability. But those are not the good ones. Those are not the ones you really want. The one I want to get, and I need to get a little bit of money for, is the second ability. Now that's the gold one right there. That's the best one in my opinion, is the second ability because of what it can do. And I got enough. So, second ability, Equilibrate, however you say that. Summons a spirit totem that can go on a friendly target, heals your allies, and damages enemies. So you can actually target somebody, like here, I'm giving him a totem. Now, I'm going to target Devil Slime, and by casting them when an enemy targeted, it actually targets myself. So you see this little, totem, nice block, square block just going around, and you see I'm getting 4, 3, 3. I'm healing over time while it's active. So I'm sitting there healing and just recovering health right then. But I'm also getting damage to the enemies around me. So I get an area of effect type attack similar to the mage stuff, but in a much smaller scale. I can't sit there and cover a large area. But the benefit is that I'm also healing myself simultaneously. And I can, cast it and run around with it. Oh, I targeted the wrong thing. Okay. So, yeah, if I get that going, I can sit here and I'm not dealing much damage to him right now because I need to upgrade my ability. But once I upgrade it, I do more and more damage and I get more and more healing. And again, with all that healing, I can basically, instead of having to do like with the mage, where I'm relying on the ice block, encasing myself in a block of ice so I can heal and not have to move for the heal to actually work, I can actually sit there and just run into the middle of a group of enemies and deal damage to them just standing in the middle like this. I can just sit here and stand in the middle and I'm dealing damage. You can see, 4, 4, 4, and my health's not dropping. I can stand there and they deal damage to me and I can just recover it. And if I need to, I can always, just by hitting the first ability without having without having a friendly target like an ally targeted, just targeting nothing or an enemy, I heal myself instead. So if I need a sudden boost of health, then I can use the first ability on myself. Now, the fourth ability is called Windrush. Temporarily boosts the movement speed of you and your allies. So fortunately, this applies as an area buff. So any allies in the area will get a speed boost. And it's kind of that, oh crap moment type ability, like sprint for the archer. Like, oh man, I bit off more than I can chew. I need to get out of here. So you can use it and quickly run away. Like, I didn't use it, but somebody else did. That's basically the effect, is you just get a longer lasting boost to your movement speed than like the sprint from the archer gives. So it really is. I mean, you can use it to get further out and be able to, like I said, with the teleport, you can use teleport for the mage to go further out and find, tougher enemies and get, better goods and such. But you can also just use it as a case of, I'm just going to run away. And that's really all I ever use it for, is to run away. when I'm being overwhelmed by a group. But usually I don't have to worry about it because I'm typically just sitting there healing nonstop with my second ability, Equilibrate. I just sit there and heal. I don't have to worry about, you know, casting the individual heal on myself. I'm sitting there just healing constantly from the totem circling me, and I just refresh it every so often so I can go and stand in a group of enemies and just stand there and you see 7 and 6, 7 and 7, like that, and they're taking damage from a decent range around me, so I don't have to have them right up on me. And that's all I do. I mean, it's much more, the shaman's much more of a one-trick pony than like the, mage, but you do have a little bit more of an advantage that if when you are trying to get an enemy's attention, you can do this, use your third ability, Decay, and do a damage over time, which also slows their speed down, so you can actually have more time to target a group of enemies. So instead of targeting one and the whole group comes at you at the same speed, you target one, they're slower. You target the next one, they're slower. You target the next one, they're slower. And then guess what? You're getting overwhelmed. Now you just back away and you can not only move faster than them because of the fact that they've all been hit with Decay and they've all got this debuff on them to their movement speed, but you can also sit there and cast your Windrush and take off and leave them behind and give yourself time for your totem to heal you some more. And you see, like right here, how much I'm taking damage-wise from several enemies hitting me at once. And you see my health still kicking back up. No problem. And, I got help from an archer over here. I can sit over here and be like, hey, guys, what's up? I'll sit here, and they are healing off of my ability. The totem is healing them as well as healing me. And so you'll get a lot of people wanting to follow you around if you got a good, powerful shaman. They'll want to stick close to you because they can sit there and, like an archer, can be taking hits directly and not have to run away so much and be sitting there healing all the time. So, again, if you didn't watch part 1, I encourage you to go watch part 1 because this is for most people, I don't think it's going to be a game where you're kind of like, hey, I'm going to play this for, 8 hours and do this raid, blah, blah, blah. It's, if you like World of Warcraft and you don't have time to play, you just want to do something quick, or, you're at work and you don't have a lot going on, and you just want a simple thing, this is perfect for you because it's a browser-based game. It's free. Yeah, they do have ads to, make money, support developing it, but it's a fun game. It's got that same theme. It's World of Warcraft and some of the other, the spin-offs of that kind of thing. It's, you got 4 classes. You got an alliance and a horde, basically. There are people that play the game. As far as if you play horde, you can fight against alliance, kill their kings up on the hill, and so on. So it does give, team play. If you could, get on a server and get on there with some of your friends, you could sit there and be playing together. You got chat, you can talk to people, you can do clans, things like that. So it's a pretty nice game, and while it doesn't look very, visually interesting, it's very simplistic. Just remember how Minecraft was originally, what it looked like, and how fun it became for people, and what it's grown into. This could always end up being developed further later, where they put in new character models, where now they are focusing on the gameplay aspect, getting all that done, and later on they put in better character models so you're not just a block. Or maybe they keep it that way because they just want to keep it simple and make it run well in a browser. But again, just take a look at it. It's hordes.io. I'm going to put a link below for it. And, you just check it out, have some fun with it. If it's not your thing, hey, it's free. You're not paying anything for it. You can just do it for fun. And that's all it is. It's just a free game to play in your browser, pastime. If you want to keep your, progress with you between computers, copy your cookie, or, they're supposed to have an option to sign in like your Facebook and such so it can sync your account. So, you can do that. And it's just, it's a time killer. If you got time to waste, you don't want to get anything too heavy on World of Warcraft or something like that, hop on and play for a little bit. But so if you like the video, be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to hit subscribe because I'm posting 5 days a week right now. And Thursdays today is a series of looking at games that are free and low cost like this, that are just, something to give a little spotlight to a game and let you find out about a game you may not have heard of and might be interesting to play, because that's how I got started in some of the games I'm playing, is watching some other YouTuber showcase the game, and I was like, that's interesting. That I want to play that. So Thursdays like today is showcase day. I'm showing off free or low cost games that you may not have heard of and I think are kind of interesting, neat, fun, etc. So if you like this kind of stuff, you want to see more of this content, make sure you hit that like button. Leave a comment below if you've got any game suggestions you'd like me to check out and do some videos on. I'd love to do it. And then the other days of the week, I am posting regular content for other games. So be sure to check out my other playlist and all my other content. Let me know anything you want to see me try adding. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.